bit of a late start for us this morning. The rain has been bouncing down all night. We've set the alarms for 5 o'clock and it was howling and bouncing down with rain, so we decided not to bother. So we've had a leisurely morning, we've had breakfast, and now we've come down to Swanage. We did call at Lulworth Cove, but it was still bouncing down. So we detoured into Swanage. As you see, we've had a bite to eat, cup of tea. The sun has come out. The sky, as you can see there, has started to turn a lovely shade of blue. And we've come out to have a go at shooting the old pier, which is beautiful. So I've done a couple of long exposures on the archetypal classic shot, which is a long exposure shooting out across the pier. And I'm going to have a wander down this old pier now. As you can see, the wind is very strong still, so the gimbal is getting blown about. But the pier, as you can see, goes down, and there's a little hut there, like a little bandy stand thing, I suppose. So I'm going to go down and have a go at shooting that whilst we've got some movement in the clouds. So it's a very odd morning, but it hasn't put us off. It was nice to sit around, chat, gossip, think about things that we're going to do, places we're going to go, and get geared up. We had intended to just go and have a mooch around and see some places with a view to scouting locations, but the rain was that heavy, it just wasn't any point. There was no point ending up like drowned rats when we could stay warm and dry and gossip in a coffee shop with a cup of tea and a very nice ham and cheese croissant. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I'm going to disappear off at the end of the pier, and if I get anything, I'll post it up at the end. See you in a bit. Well, I kind of changed my mind a little bit before I went down to the end. Excuse me, I've not put it on the gimbal because it's really windy down here and the gimbal's just getting blown all over the place. So I've done the classic shot of the old pier, which is over where the guys in red are. Just there. It's a head-on shot to the pier as it leads out. So I've just come down to the railings and I'm shooting through the railings. I'm not sure that you can see that. There's a pier just here. Excuse the phone getting blown about. And I'm doing a long exposure shot. I've got a 0.6 ND Grad. I've got the polariser and the 10 stop. And I'm trying to shield the camera with my body to stop it getting blown about. When the sun comes out, it's coming in from here. So I'm just getting ready to shield the side of the filter holder to stop any lens flare. I'm shooting, as usual, at 100 ISO. Excuse the hat coming over my eyes, it's too big. F14. And I'm thinking we're probably going to be somewhere around the 1:40 to 1:50 exposure, unless the sun comes out and lights up the green that is on the wooden struts, in which case that will reduce the exposure time a little bit. You join us at the second location for today, which is the world famous, or I think it's world famous, Durdle Door, which if the wind stops blowing, you can just see down there. We're going to go down and have a proper look at it in a minute. But as we came down the steps, which are very, very muddy, and we've had to park half a mile up the road because the car park shuts at 4 o'clock, last entry is 3. As we came down the first flight of stairs, I looked to my left and saw this absolutely gorgeous cove with the light just playing along the hillsides. Just turn you around. You've got the rocks here, the waves crashing over them, you've got beautiful light along the cliff faces. And I thought that would make a rather lovely image. It's been a real battle with getting the exposure right because I'm trying to get everything in, and the way the sun's going down over there, so we've got beautiful light along here, but if I turn you round, this side is completely in shade. If I just, yeah, I think you can make that out. This side that you can see here, there, is just completely in shadow. And I wanted some of the steps leading down into the cove as well, and they're also in shadow. So it's been quite a challenging exposure, but I think I've got it right. So that's essentially the scene that I'm looking at, and you can see I'm at f/18 1 second, ISO 1000. This will continue to focus, and the image that I took is essentially that. There's not going to need to be a lot of post-processing done to that, just to pull down the highlights a touch here. Now the sun is going down that side, so it's going down the opposite side of the arch, which is Durdle Door. Not my ideal scenario for shooting a sunset. It's shooting into the light, which I'm not keen on, but we're going to have a go. You can see some decent cloud formation. We've still got some lovely light on the rocks here. There's a beautiful, almost golden white beach. So I'm going to trundle down there and see what we can do. We're staying here for sunset. It's about 3:30ish, I'm guessing. And then we shall head back to the digs and decide what we're up to tomorrow. That's like not my ideal scenario for shooting sunset. I don't like shooting into the light, but we'll have a go. Might get some decent colour in the sky. And as I say, I'll post all the details up on the image. Durdle Door is beautiful. This is rapidly turning into a bucket list week for some of us. Places we've wanted to come for ages and ages and never got round to. As I say, we had a bit of a rubbish start this morning, but it's actually worked in our favour. We spent a long time at Swanage pier, and we do have a revisit there for sunrise. I have some unfinished business with the little jetty at the end, with a little seating area that's covered, bandstand, whatever you like to call it. The wind was just too ridiculous to torch you down there while I got a shot. It was a record shot, nothing to write home about. Well, we made it down the steps onto the beach, and I'll just give you a spin round. There we go, there's Durdle Door. Some fabulous cloud detail, and the most gorgeous, gorgeous blue sea coming in. Now, as I said before, this is not my favourite type of shooting. I'm just checking the back of the camera because I'm shooting into the light, which I really don't like to do. So at the moment, I'm getting a kind of okay image, but I'm blowing a bit of the highlights in the middle no matter what I do. I'll just give you a quick flip round so you can have a look. You can sort of see what I'm shooting there. So I'm getting a bit of the light on the hills, but not a huge amount. So it's just a case now of, oh, excuse me while we straighten that up, that's better. Wait for the best of the brightness to disappear, and hopefully the clouds you can see up here will give us some lovely colour. As I say, it's not my ideal scenario, but we're going to make the best of it. So I'll check back in with you in a wee while. Photographers, we're just not happy, but this place is very special. You can see the waves rolling in, and it's like they're silk. They're just curving over and rolling up. The beach is it's pebbles, very small pebbles. You can see how the water moves as it comes in and then drains back. It's almost mesmerising to watch. It's absolutely wonderful. It makes a beautiful noise as well. You can see we've got some lovely detail in the sky. And there's the arch. And I'm struggling. I've got a couple of images that I think are okay. but I'm not 100% happy with them. But I'm expecting too much from my camera, I believe. It's this, the door itself is in total shadow, and you've got a light bit coming through. And then over here, you've got some gorgeous light hitting on the hills, which I keep wanting to call the White Cliffs of Dover, but they're not. And the sea is just a gorgeous greeny blue colour. Oh, to be able to wild camp down here and wake up and see that. I get carried away. But the whole place is just phenomenal. It really is. I'm going to try a couple of different compositions in the hope I can get something that I'm happy with and something that looks half light. I will catch up with you when I've got a shot that I'm happy with. It's a real juggle with the filters. At the moment I'm just using the reverse Grad and the 10 stop, which has smoothed the water out beautifully and given me some detail in the cliffs over here. So I shall keep on trying. Well, I'm shooting on the 10-20 at the moment because I wanted to get the whole of the bay in. You can see if I pull that round, it's a beautiful curve, and I wanted to get that all in. So I'm trying with the 10-20, and it's on about 12mm, I think, at the moment. With the lights dropping down, there's a little bit of colour coming up in the sky, so I'm going to disappear and get some photos. If I don't see you again tonight, I'll pop up the photos that I get, and I'll see you for day 3 tomorrow. Bye for now.